Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS. What is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis? Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a horrific terminal disease that takes over the nerve cells in the brain and in the spinal cord. The ALS Association states that motor neurons reach from the brain to the spinal cord and from the spinal cord to the muscles throughout the body. The progressive degeneration of the motor neurons in ALS eventually leads to their death. When the motor neurons die, the ability of the brain to initiate and control muscle movement is lost. With voluntary muscle action progressively affected, patients in the later stages of the disease may become totally paralyzed. Who it takes. My story. My grandma, Ruth Arlene Smith, was a strong-willed, independent, coffee-drinking, cigarette-smoking fireball until the disease took her life on April 4th, 2004. While there is no known cause as to why ALS develops, it is usually found in individuals between the ages of 40 and 70 and is 20% more common in men than women. How is it diagnosed? ALS is diagnosed by running tests that include EMGs, NCSs, muscle biopsies, MRIs, and genetic tests. Simple tests, such as blood and urine tests, are also done. Tests are determined by the muscles that are being affected at the time. There are 3 types of ALS: sporadic, familial, and Guaminian. Sporadic ALS is the most common and accounts for 90 to 95% of all cases in the United States. Sporadic ALS may affect anyone, anywhere. Familial ALS is contracted through genetics. Only 5 to 10% of all ALS patients appear to have genetic or inherited form of ALS. In those families, there is a 50% chance each offspring will inherit the gene mutation and may develop the disease. What are the signs of ALS? The first signs of ALS might include muscle weakness, twitching, impairment of use of the arms and legs, and slurred speech. Unfortunately, the symptoms may be so slight that they are frequently overlooked. What does it do to the body? According to the ALS Association, ALS kills motor neurons, the large cells of the spinal cord that send nerve fibers out to control the muscles. Also, motor neurons in the part of the brain governing voluntary movements are destroyed in ALS. These so-called upper motor neurons send nerve fibers down from the brain to control the lower motor neurons in the spinal cord. How is ALS treated? There is no cure for ALS and nothing that is known to prevent the onset of the disease. According to Michelle Flum, doctor and writer for the ALS TDI, the only FDA-approved treatment for ALS is riluzole, which helps slow the progression of ALS, extending survival about 3 to 6 months. There are many clinical trials that are currently in progress, but none that have found a cure as of yet. Some other treatments that are being used are exercise, diet plans, Botox, and breathing mechanisms. While these might ease the sense of the symptoms, they have not shown to help slow the illness's progression. The ALS Association and other organizations sponsor many clinical trials. At this point, there are 753 trials going to help cure and treat the disease. To be a part of it, visit clinicaltrials.gov.